Hello everyone. Today we're going to be learning about the Ministry of Transportation required items for a boat under 6 meters long. So our objective will be to easily recall the MOT items and their uses and know the situations in which they can be used. So first of all, I want you to write down some things that could befall a boat when you're in the water. So think about things that could happen to the boat and the environment around you. And also emergencies. You got overboard there?
I do. You might fall, somebody might fall overboard.
Is that like a man overboard?
Yes. Or a woman.
Okay, yes. What you got there?
Might spring a leak.
Yeah.
The boat could capsize.
You might get big waves.
That's true, yeah.
You could damage the rudder.
Somebody might get hurt.
What if you're not the boat? Something happens to the boat, like it can't move anymore.
Maybe the sail gets damaged.
Yeah.
Or you run out of wind, it gets calm.
Okay, that's good. What about, think about the senses, like touch, sight, hearing, and sound. Can anything happen that stops those?
You get hurt.
What about communication, like seeing and hearing?
Oh, you mean if people can't hear you on shore anymore? Because the
Or
wind is so strong?
not even on shore, maybe just other boats or your coach boat.
Because it's stormy and no one could hear you.
Or you're just far away. You could be far away.
Could be really windy.
Yes.
Maybe they have trouble seeing you. From the big waves might obscure your line of sight.
Yes. Or fog.
Or fog.
What if maybe you get lost in the dark?
Dark, yeah, lost, dark. Okay, I think we have a lot of stuff, so I'm going to show you the items and explain to you. So put the papers on the table. Okay. Okay, here we have a flashlight. So the flashlight is, if it's in the waterproof flashlight, if it's in the dark, you can if it's in the dark, you can shine it onto your sail, and people can see it from shore, so it's a way of communicating. Or you can just if you're trying to dock at dark at night, you can illuminate your path or like show it to people. That's a good use of it. A bailer.
If there's an emergency, how would you use the flashlight?
You would take it out. It's only really effective at night, obviously. So you could flash it onto your sails to make an SOS signal. You could illuminate your path if you're trying to navigate like a dock or like rocks or something. Or you could shine it towards other people and have them and just alert them that you're having an emergency. Yeah.
What's the SOS signal?
It's 3 long bursts of light and then 3 short and then 3 long again. Okay, so that's enough about that. So the bailer, if there's waves coming into your boat or you've just recapsized it and flipped it back over again, use that to scoop water out. Or it's also useful to splash the people, but it's not supposed to be used that way. So that's a bailer, pretty obvious. Whistle, a P-less whistle. That's another emergency item. So you can, if it's hard to hear you, can blow the whistle and people hear you. If it's at night, you can use the whistle. And if it's really wavy and they can't, if you're moving their arms around, they can't see, you can also blow the whistle. And another thing you can do is do a system, like, if you two blows and it's like, can you help me with this technique? So you're talking to the instructor, obviously. You can have 2 blows for the I need a technique, or you have 3 blasts, and that means you need help, and 1 blast means something else, but that's another use for the whistle. So it's like a communication thing. Okay, here, the paddle / anchor, it's either, you only need 1 of these, and the anchor just stops you moving, and then the paddle lets you move around at will. So if your sails go down, you can either throw down the anchor and then wait for help, or you can just paddle back to the shore. And the paddle is also useful if you're lazy and want to get out of the dock in low winds, because that can be pretty hard. Not too much complications for using those. A PFD. Can anyone think of the uses of a PFD?
If you go overboard, you can float.
If you capsize, be happy.
It can help you from drowning.
Yeah. Okay. And then the final item,
Might also keep you warm a little bit.
little, not much. So the final item is a floating rope, basically. So if someone falls overboard, you can throw them the rope. If you're trying to go on a dock, you can dock using that. Can anyone think of other uses for a rope?
Maybe you could tow something.
You tow yourself, you can tow something behind you.
You could, if one of the lines breaks, you might be able to repair it with the rope.
Pretty good. So, okay, so those are the items. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the list of things that you made, and then we're going to try to connect the problems to the items on the list. Okay. Here's Rob's list. Here's Andy's list. Okay, so what you need to do is think about how each item relates to each problem.
So if you have a leak, maybe you'd use the baler.
Okay. Ron?
Well, if it was dark, you could probably use the flashlight to signal for help.
Okay.
If you capsize, you'd be using your PFD.
True.
But you'll always have your CFD on, don't you?
Yeah, never take it off when you're in the boat. You could capsize and that would be bad.
If you were becalmed, you might break out your whistle and call for help.
If you have a damaged rudder or a damaged sail, you could use the paddle to move to somewhere more useful.
Mm-hmm. What about more uses of the things like the PFD and the whistle and the baler? Because they're, the line, we haven't thought of any of that. Can you think of uses for the line?
If someone was overboard, you might throw them a line to help pull them back into the boat.
Yeah.
You might throw a line to someone on a dock to help get you in.
Yeah.
And or tie up the boat.
Or if, again, if your sail is damaged or something like that, maybe you could re-rig your boat.
Maybe, I guess. It's the right size. Look down here. Waves, dark, hurt. Can you think of any
If
items?
somebody's hurt, you could use a whistle and get some attention right away.
Okay.
You might also, if it's at night, you might want to use the light for an SOS.
Night.
So if someone's hurt, right, at night, you might want to use the flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I think I got a good amount of understanding here, so I'm going to turn this board away. We're going to see how many items you can remember.
You need a PSE,
Mm-hmm.
waterproof flashlight, a floating line, a bailer, an anchor or a paddle, and a whip.
Okay, good. Okay. Dad, can you list some items that are all the items that you need on a boat?
PFD, rope, bailer, whistle, anchor, paddle, and, did I say whistle?
Yeah. I think you got them all. Okay. Thank you everyone for this wonderful teaching session. I hope when you go out sailing you'll remember these items better and be safer because of it.